Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Georgina Twumasi here, your favorite psych nurse practitioner. So in today's video, we are talking about how to now move in or have a man move in.
And less than a week ago, and I lived with him already. But I went to his house, y'all, and he didn't have a TV. I'm really a homebody, so I needed a TV to watch. He don't really be at home, so he was just like, okay, we're gonna go to Best Buy and get a TV. Maybe it's an Aquarius thing, but when I like a boy, like, I love them. Like, you're my man forever. Y'all, I've been trying to figure out what this man do for a living, but he won't tell me, and I really can't gauge it. To be honest, it's none of my business as long as he's just sending them coins. Total came out to like $350. I'm telling this man the TV is entirely too big to fit in the car, but, you know, guys think they know everything. He actually ended up having to call an Uber XL because it didn't fit in the car exactly like I told him. Girl, he done got me this TV, so he better prepare to be sick of me because I'm here every day.
Moving in with a man or having a man move in with you without proper documentation in case marriage. So you have that backing of that paper. A man who's dragging along over a year, 2, 3, and you still don't have that legal backing of marriage. Ladies, sis, you might need to consider running for the hills. A man who is asking you for money, for you to pull money out of your retirement account so they can do XYZ or start the business, future faking with you, telling you this and that and the third. A man who's always seemed to have something going on that he needs you to fill in. It's not one time. It's not 2 times. You're paying the bills, but something happens where he cannot hold his end of the deal, and you have to constantly come in and fill in the gap. Go get another extra job. Work double, triple, especially if you're a nurse. You know, they all sometimes target the nurses too because they know you can work doubles. You can work 12 hours, been there. Phew, phew, phew. Work that night shift. Work that weekend. You're constantly out of the house. You know, when you're constantly out of the house, you know what they be doing? On the phone and running with the side chicks while you're working your 16 hours or you're at night shift. A word to the wise is enough. You learn the hard way. You get burned, you pass it along. That's it. No hate. But you know what? No. That when you're there, you're like, yeah, I'm doing it for him. I'm going to start this business. You're fishing all the money into it. And he's just there. By the time you know, a year passes, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and this person, once they get their manly powers, their money is like right. The way they will switch up. Not all of them though, but that's a lot of them that have the similar mindset. So watch out, be mindful, be intentional, because the way you love, that's the thing. The way you love is not the way he loves. Title of my next book, by the way. The way you love is not the way he loves. You are deriving so much joy doing the things. He is sitting calculating what he can gain. You are at the end to the means. Watch this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Well, thank you for checking out my video. I appreciate you. Follow for more videos like this. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so since I've been releasing a lot of relationship videos, of course, you guys has been in my comments telling me y'all personal stories. And I've seen a lot of different stories about when y'all move in with the man, y'all life start going downhill. Or when y'all met a man, y'all life start going, downhill. So I want to respond to those who start dating a man and then you decide to move in, right? I'm going to go ahead and tell you my stance on that. I don't believe in moving in with a man prior to marriage. However, I know that it's very common. I'm saying that, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I don't know the future. But I'm going to give you some tips to make sure you win, shall that is your situation, right? So if you go for having your own and paying 100%, to moving in with a man, you're going to naturally pay where you lay. You're going to pay money wherever you lay your head. So you'll begin to help him pay his bills. So now since you live with him, right? You need to make sure you are saving at least 50% of your income or a little bit less, if not 50%, 30%. You need to be stacking some bread, stack some money, right? Because at the end of the day, you are giving up what you have to move in with him. So his ego is going to spike. Let's be clear. You are now living up under his roof. So in his mind, the only way you're going to eat is if he feeds you. Okay? So save your money. Also, don't hop on a lease with this man. You can go live in his house. Let his name be on the lease solely. You don't need to intertwine your name with his. Because at the end of the day, you can have your own lease. You gave up your lease to be on his. If you wanted to be on a lease, you can go get your own. You don't need to be on his. Okay? Show this man starts to get a little bit controlling, starts to get a little jazzy. I want you to remove yourself from the situation. And I also suggest that you already hypothetically have 6 months worth of rent saved up before you even move in with this man. You need to be 10 steps ahead of whatever the step is. You know what I'm saying? If whatever happens in your life knocks you 10 steps back, that means you wasn't prepared in any way. You know what I'm saying? So if you are going to give up your place to move in with him, just simply move in with him. Don't put your name on that lease. And also be saving as much money as possible, because his attitude towards you will change once you are up under his lease. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it will change for the worse. Maybe he'll become more loving because you're closer to him now. Who knows? I don't know the situation, but it's going to change. And you just got to make sure that you are ready for it. Your name and his name don't need to be on the same lease unless it's a mortgage. Now, I don't don't move in with him if he buy a house. Y'all buy a house together, because that's a big deal. But renting, no. If your name gonna be on the lease by yourself. Or if you living up under him, it needs to be on his name solely. And then you can go get you an apartment till it goes a little left. Let me know if that makes sense, y'all.
Some people say when a woman meets a man, he starts at a 10 and he has to work his way down from there. But when a man meets a woman, she starts at a 0 and she has to work her way up. This is what it looks like when a woman lets a man start at a 10. We rolled out all the red carpet. We're giving him king treatment on day one. Men are not the only ones who lead with money. Women do it too. 4 out of her last 6 videos were her fanning a whole bunch of cash. Of course you're going to attract men like that. Not to mention the stranger danger of it all. Less than a week and you're already moved in and you don't know what he does for a living? Every time women are warning another woman to be careful with a man, you'll have these comments with men calling you bitter. There's nothing to be bitter about. Any woman can get a man like this if you're willing to pay for it. There are men that look for big, strong providers too. Taking the time to get to know someone is not a waste of time, especially when you're trying to merge your life with his. She could end up being an anomaly, and they could start off like this and go on to be married and be together for 20 years. And he could also use her. But since you don't know, maybe slow down a little bit. You're all over my timeline. I just don't want to see you on Dateline.
I'm in some serious need of some solid advice, okay? So, ladies, any ladies, please stop scrolling and just listen for a second, okay? Because I know somebody has been through this, okay? I am dating my boyfriend. I love my boyfriend. We've been together for almost 2 years. We've moved in together. We've been living together for 5 months. And it's just not the way it used to be. It really isn't. And anytime I go home, I just know that we're going to fight about something. I'm going to say something wrong, or my tone is going to be wrong, or I'm going to do something to where it's just, our night's going to be ruined every single day. And I just don't know if I can do it anymore. Do I just need to take a break and leave the house for a couple of days? Or is this a sign that the relationship is not going to work in the future? Day.
The thing that you don't realize with this lady asking this question, what do we think she should do? When you notice the patterns, that's why I always say patterns, especially when it comes to men. When they switch up, obviously he has switched up. He's showing her the patterns. You get into cognitive dissonance or want to still be with the version of him that you had messed initially. And that's what keeps you in that toxic, addictive cycle for a long time. But when you see it, a lot of men will not necessarily always say to you they want to break up. But when you see the change, when you see the patterns, you can read between the lines and be like, okay, remove yourself. You can save your dignity, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and set those boundaries. But asking, the fact that you're asking is actually should tell you something is not right. The thing that happens is a lot of men, once they get into the day-to-day of the relationship. They're living with you. Maybe they're moody. They don't know how to really deal with emotional intelligence or regulating emotions or having conflict resolution. They never been taught really, or even were taught growing up. Conditioning as they grow up, seeing their bros do it a certain way becomes a thing for them to consider doing it that same way. Just checking out, avoiding, being passive aggressive, making you walk on eggshells becomes a thing. And when the relationship, the daily grind of the relationship become a thing, it's like there's no more dopamine hit. There's no more reason for them to behave. So now they pull the mask off and start to show you the real, true version of themselves. But it's up to you to make that choice. It's up to you to make that change. It's up to you to jump out. It's up to you to preserve yourself. It's up to you to preserve their children, to have children in that relationship. Because when they're showing you, it's what it is. And a lot of men won't change unless they want to change for themselves, or unless legal issue, whatever, or old age catches on them, before many of them might consider changing. But they will not necessarily change for you. So you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your youth, you're wasting your womb on a man who's literally showing you who he is. I hope that was helpful.
Okay, so I never hear enough people talk about this when it comes to dating. Over the weekend, I was out with a friend, and me and her were discussing how dating your man and living with your man are two completely different things. I've been living with my current boyfriend for the past 3 years, and let me just tell you, back in 2020, when we decided to move together, I completely had to learn a whole new version of him. I can honestly say our first year of us living together was the hardest, because those little mini arguments about the dishes, taking out the garbage, you drunk all my juice, or just our temperaments of it just wanting alone time can get real and can make or break the relationship. I mean, you definitely go through a phase the first year of living with your partner of just the bickering and just little minor shit that you never knew irritated you. Communication and accountability is definitely key to help you guys get through that first year. So this is just a reminder. If you guys are dating now and things are cool, just wait till y'all move in together. Yeah, it's going to test your relationship.
Sometimes when men don't have the courage to end a relationship, they'll intentionally try to sabotage it. They'll pick at you. They'll start fights. They don't want to be known as the bad guy that broke your heart, so they'll go out of their way to make you think that it was your idea. Maybe he thought the relationship was going better before you guys lived together, and he wants to go back to that. People are completely different when you don't live with them. When you guys live separately, you didn't have to worry about laundry and dishes and what's for dinner. But now that you guys live together, the whole dynamic has changed. You get to see him now day in, day out. Is he a morning person? Is he different when he's had a rough day at work? Is he different when he's stressed? You get to see a side of him that you never saw before. Maybe he can't hold the mask up 24/7. And with you being around all the time, he can't hide who he really is. Did you move in with him? Because some men believe their turf, their terms. Once they feel like they're in a position of power, that's when they start showing out. Once you've already moved out of your parents' house, once you've already moved cross country, once you've already given up your lease. He's not trying to fix it because he doesn't want to fix it. He's going to continue to pick fights with you every single day until you break up with him because he doesn't want to be the bad guy. And if you don't believe me, float the idea that you guys should take a break or break up and watch how quickly he agrees.
So how in the world did you get her? And here's my only answer. I convinced her to marry me when she was so young she didn't know any better. Guys, I'm just telling you right now, that's how you do it. You go so young they don't know any better than to go with you.
So I tried for about 2 hours to find this full sermon because this is the only clip that I've seen. I wanted to find the full sermon so that I could see what was said before and what was said after. Although, I will add, I can't think of a single thing that could have been said before or after that would have made this statement okay. Just to make sure you caught that, let's see this one more time.
Guys, I'm just telling you right now, that's how you do it. You go so young they don't know any better than to go with you.
Now, I've got a couple of questions here. So young. What does that mean, so young? Secondly, you say to get them so young so that they don't know any better. What do you not want them to know any better? You don't want somebody that's mature enough to be able to make her own informed, educated, mature decisions. I wish I could have found the sermon so that I could, hear what he said before and after. Again, nothing in context is going to make that statement okay for me personally. And I'll also say that, to be fair, I don't think that every church is out here preaching messages using words like that, but there's a long laundry list of reasons why I don't walk into an American church building. Add that one to the list. Maybe somebody in the comments can give me a biblical perspective of what he was saying there, but I don't think so. It just blows my mind, some of the things that we hear from these pastors behind the pulpit on Sunday mornings.
I convinced her to marry me when she was so young she didn't know any better. That's how you do it. You go so young they don't know any better.
It's all fun and games until a 50-year-old man starts coming after your 18 or 19-year-old daughter. He's disgusting for saying it, and they're disgusting for laughing at him saying it. I made a video about a year ago about this man on a podcast who was saying that he preferred much younger women. He said that women his age had too much baggage, and he was looking for a much younger woman because they are more malleable. And I talked about how that behavior is predatory. And there were men in the comment section throwing up, crying, sliding down the wall, and fighting the air, talking about, no, it's not predatory. We just want them because it's less bad. Here, this man is giving the game away. Because like I've said before, let a man talk long enough, he'll tell you everything you need to know. This man is saying, I got her when she was so young that she didn't know any better than to come with me. You know those women are easier to impress, easier to manipulate, and easier to use. They are well aware that they are taking advantage of much younger women, and they don't like being called out about it because it makes them feel icky. You should feel icky. If you're an 18, 19, 20-year-old woman and a man in his 40s or 50s is approaching you, it's not because you're mature. He knows you don't have the experience to see through the games he plans to play on you. You probably haven't been dating long enough to identify red flags. You don't know what you don't know. Most of the time they're approaching you because women their age aren't impressed by them. With a Bible in his hand, this man is encouraging other men to take advantage of much younger women. What scripture is that?
Nothing a man will ever give you can equate to what he's getting from you. I first made this video in 2023. I still stand by this notion. That's why I say if you're going to deal with men, make sure you're getting everything you want. Because the exchange is unfair. It's inherently unfair. It's important that when you're having companionship with men, you're not dealing with the ones that are going to stress you out. They're already benefiting from your life force, the creation energy in you. You don't want them to also bring baggage to your life. So it's important that you listen to men approach women like criminals choose victims and learn to spot men who are testing you to see if they can waste your time, use you, get away with hurting you. It's important for you to know the 6 things that those men will be testing in you. If you spot someone testing you for those 6 things, you need to get the hell out of their way. 1 is enough. You don't need to verify and see, oh, maybe they are a good guy. If someone is testing you for any of those 6 things, you need to get the hell out of their way. Run, don't walk. Listen to men approach women like criminals choose victims.
I think in 10 years, people are going to look at marriage like we kind of look at smoking. Like, people are going to look at it and be like, doesn't that make you sicker? I mean, just think about it. Like, we know that marriage isn't benefiting women. So women tend to be sicker later on in their lives from the emotional, mental load that we take on in addition to being breadwinners. I have never regretted for 1 second getting divorced. I was eating lunch with this woman a few weeks ago. She's in her 50s. And she was like, well, you don't want to be like 51 and still doing this. And I was like, still doing what? What exactly should I not be doing at 51? And what exactly am I supposed to be doing at 51? Girl, I'm just living life. I am living. I do whatever I want, when I want, with whoever I want. And I have fuck you money, so I can do that too. I don't have a path. There's no path. I got off the path that everyone else, and actually I wouldn't even call it a path. It was a conveyor belt. I'm in nature, babe. I'm on the side of the mountain in rich terrain. I also just saw an article where it was talking about how there's a transfer of wealth happening where women are going to own 50% of the wealth. They already do. I should look it up. The change is here. There is nothing I want to be doing that I'm not already doing. I am living my best life. When I'm 51, I'll be living it then too. And it has nothing to do with my relationship status. I'm so grateful I deconstructed this for myself.
For those of you who have decentered men or enjoy being single or enjoy themselves, what is the one thing that you wish you had in this process?
Age of 54 and 2 divorces later, let me give you the marriage advice I wish that I had listened to. Love is not enough. Marry for character, not just chemistry. You're not just marrying them, you're marrying their habits, their debt, and their family drama. Marriage will never fix loneliness. The wrong person will make it worse. You can't marry potential. You're not a life coach. You're a spouse. Being alone is way better than wishing you were. The right person will make you feel safe. The wrong one will make you feel small. We'll figure it out is not a financial plan.
Some people don't want love. They want control. Learn the difference. You should be excited to marry them, not just relieved that they finally committed. Be prepared to marry the whole family. Period. Hope that helps.